This time we are off to Joypur forest in Bankura district. Our final destination is the resort Sonar Bangla. They are pet friendly, so we have our dog with us. It is going to take us about 4 hours, and we are looking forward to this trip because it is just a trip for relaxation. But there are a number of temples in and around Bankura and Bishnupur, and also some historical sites. Right now we have stopped for some breakfast and tea. And we are making another pit stop for our little boy here. By and large, it is a smooth journey, but there are a number of speed breakers, so that takes a bit of time. But here we are finally entering the resort Sonar Bangla. The reception area and the car park. This is our room. Although the resort is still under construction, the rooms are modern and well made, and with a dog it is very comfortable because you do have a big veranda, and the room itself is very spacious. These are the sitting areas, and there is the dining hall which is behind, and you can actually go around and see the resort. There is the swimming pool and also a children's park. This is the entrance to our block and our room. The next morning we decided to drive through the area, and as you can see there are a number of shimul trees, and there were these birds which were practically blooming on these trees. The benefit of driving down is that you have a car at your disposal, and any place that you feel like you can stop and photograph it. traveling in mid-March and it is already 37 degrees. There are years when till the end of March you have a pleasant temperature. We traveled to the Bonolata resort, which is also quite well known for its food and also its ambience, but it was very crowded because this is the week of Holi and we couldn't get a meal there. So we are traveling back to our resort and we will have lunch at the dining room. Normally you can walk from the reception to the rooms or the dining area, but it is so hot that we preferred to take the buggy. The buggy rides are free and you can avail them anytime when you stay at the resort. So we are back at the dining area and as you can see there is a lot of food and the food was really good and we were also thankful for the air-conditioned atmosphere. Because the hotel is fully booked, so it is always buffet in the afternoon and a la carte in the evening, and you can always choose to order in room service. In the evening, we decided to visit the PR Toba airfield, which was actually built during the Second World War, and it was abandoned after that, and it had hosted the United States Army Air Force 462nd Bombardment Group. This airfield is in the middle of the forest, and sometimes while we were traveling we didn't even know if there was a road ahead or not, but finally we did reach this clearing, and it is a huge area, but you're surrounded by the forest all around. It takes about 20 minutes from the resort to reach this airfield, and you should start around 3 p.m. Because then you can comfortably go to the place, see it, and then also return before it gets dark. Because dusk was approaching, we found that many birds were returning to the trees, and it was a very good experience for us to see so many birds in one place. Most people had taken a toto from the resort, and that is easy because you can navigate these narrow routes inside the forest. But because we had our car and we were following Google Maps, we didn't know the way and there was no one to ask around. So there were times when the road really narrowed down and we were wondering whether we would be able to move ahead. On our return journey, we found this couple who had also driven down and were worried whether they would make it out of the forest before dusk, and we decided to travel together because we were both following Google Maps, and sometimes the map was not even working because network was very poor inside the forest. But thankfully we did make it in time and we got out before dusk fell. So it is advisable that you take a toto and come to this airfield because the people know the route and obviously they can take you from a shorter route inside the forest. We were obviously watching the sun very carefully because if it went down before we reached the resort, we would be in trouble. but thankfully everything worked out well, and we are at the resort. You can see the sun is nearly going down, so all's well that ends well. Well, since it's the festival of Holi and a full moon night, we decided to visit the Gokul Chand temple at Gokul Nagar. And we have a glorious blood moon there, which made things even more beautiful. So once again we follow Google Maps, but sometimes it is really difficult because you enter very narrow lanes and then you have to ask for directions from the local people to get to the temple. We are approaching the temple complex now. And now, as you can see, the moon looks more like itself. This is the entrance to the temple, and people told us that there was a fairground close by where most people were celebrating the festival of Holi. Actually, we are lucky to see the temple after coming so far, because on a normal day the temple closes around 5 p.m. but because of the festival it was open till late night. The Gokul Chand temple was built during the reign of the Malla king Raghunath Singha, and this 17th century temple is built with the same stone that we saw at Kila Dali Joda, that is the laterite stone. This Pancharatna or 5 pinnacle temple is the largest stone temple in the Bankura district. It was a great experience to see the temple on a full moon night. Although the spotlights provided around the temple were posing problems with the photography. The temple has a 45 feet square base, and it also is 64 feet in height. The idol of Lord Krishna is normally kept in Vishnupur, but during the festival of Holi, the idol is brought back to this temple for 5 days and worshipped here. The local people take pride in the fact that the idol is brought back, and they just sit around and take part in the festivities and the rituals. So the next time you plan your trip to Joypur forest, do it during the festival of Holi, because you can travel in the night and see this temple by the moonlight. It is a unique experience. Even traveling through the forest at night is really an experience that is worth all the effort that we took. And this is the station, which is Gokulpur, and I'm sure one can travel here and also come and see the temple, but that is of course during daylight.